All right, it's August 8th. I'm going to call the Selectmen's meeting to order. The first order of business is to salute the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I get people commenting all the time that they've watched the Selectmen's meeting.
You know, trouble by under God. We have to review our minutes.
Right.
I've got a few comments on the regular minutes from Monday the 1st. Under appointments, I honestly do not understand the second sentence. Chris said so much and it is a statewide issue.
So Selectman Murray asked Chris if he still had a big pile of metal. Chris said, so much, I can add metal.
No, how about we just get rid of the
Okay,
capitalized so.
And put a comma after much.
okay.
Yeah, okay, well, whatever. And the last line on that page, the last full line, I'll also explain that the same thing is true for the mooring that we have, comma, get rid of out there. It is for a sailing program that we have set up through the Parks and Rec Department.
Okay.
And we have a sailboat.
Department, comma, and we have a sailboat up there. I'm a fan of the Oxford comma.
And I think that's it that I have. Do you have anything else, Bob?
No.
I'm gonna move that we accept these minutes.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We had non-public on the 1st at 6:16 PM.
We have to make a spelling correction.
Yeah.
Third sentence, last word. It should say per diem, not peridium.
We all needed peridium, I think, at the time.
Other than that, I move that we accept the minutes.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, first appointment is with buildings. Jack Parsons.
Morning.
One.
Aye.
So there's 96 building permits, 32 new houses. We've done 370 inspections. And I talked to Chip on Friday, but my truck needs brakes, and the money I had for the brakes went to the fuel module sensor.
Right.
So the budget, that line's gonna go over, but I think at the end of the year, the overall budget should be fine. So the fuel sensor and the mileage that was done was $433. The brakes are $330, and then there's a $99 coating that has to be done every 2 years when I had the truck wax when it was new. So they touched up for $99 every 2 years, and that's scheduled to be done this week.
Needs brakes.
Right.
When's it due for inspection?
March.
You mean regular inspection is September.
September.
This will be.
So when they do the brakes,
Yeah.
see if we can't get the inspection done. I don't know, are they?
Oh, that's fine. No, that's inspection. It's just using good brakes.
Okay. Any other issues I have before the building? Got another lakefront complaint from DES on somebody cutting coverage for lakefront protection and so
Oh,
on.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else.
Requires a couple of building permits that weren't pulled and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
we're supposed to get taken care of, so they're coming in today.
good, good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next is highway.
Corey. Good.
Come on down.
Way over here. I like it today. It's quiet in here.
Yeah.
Although it's 80 degrees out already at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Only one more day that I think this was a break.
I hope so. since we met last time, we've had a few storms that have come through with heavy rain and wind. Several trees went down across town, and a few areas have washed out along road edges. We've got most of that cleaned up. I'm sure there's still a little more here and there, but several potholes have been patched on the paved roads. They seem to keep coming up. The cell tower behind the town garage looks like it's getting started soon, and I've talked to them and they had us move a handful of things around the yard, culverts and things like that for access. They had a telephone pole placed up near the between the two shed, near the two sheds, and it sounds like they're going to go underground. So it's great that we did not pave that top section.
Yeah.
Like we knew better than doing. Be great if we could have them pave the top section. I don't know if that's something that you guys
I'm sure
Ask.
they do it for a price.
can. Well, I mean, they gotta cut it.
Yeah.
I mean, a pretty good swath, probably 60 feet, I'm guessing, and then excavate down to put the conduit in, and it's gotta be down 3 feet.
So they have to cut our paving?
Not the new stuff, the old stuff up top that we didn't pave.
Oh, well, they're gonna have to repave at least that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Have a chat with them when they get
I
there.
mean, it'd be pretty sweet if they had to pave everything we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt they paid something that they don't have to.
Worth asking.
Yeah.
But before we pave that too, I know that Jack has mentioned to me before that we've got to put in a concrete, I want to say, I forget what it's called, it's almost like a gas barrier for the fuel tank up there for the police and fire department that's in the yard. They got to pour that cement and put the little grooves around it.
Right.
So that would have to be done before paving, so they could pave up to it. Carroll Materials has contacted me to let me know that they will finish graveling the road edges on Shirley Way Loop in the end of Canaan on a rain day. I get it, but you're probably pretty far behind, so they do that on a rainy day. I don't know, have we paid GMS paving already? We did, okay, I just want to confirm that we weren't holding back
Yeah.
on that, because they're a much smaller company.
No, we held back on anyone.
Sightlines have been cut back in several areas to open up around signs and intersections. It's
Well, there was another accident at 171 in Ledge Hill.
It was?
Yeah. So I really think we need to spend some time up there, cut some bushes back, get that old iron sign post.
That's
out.
gone.
That's gone.
That's gone.
And we had cut back a lot already on those
Yeah.
bushes. I mean, they've been cut back.
Going up Litchfield Road is clear, it's plain as day.
Yeah, and on the other side, there's that bush. or something.
Yeah, when you're trying to pull out.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but certainly.
But,
Where did it go for sure?
Can you cut grooves in pavement?
Can I?
Yes. Or can you rent a piece of machinery that can cut grooves like?
We can. I still have not seen exactly what it is they use, but maybe we can just buy the blade that is wider. Most of the blades that we use for cutting pavement are pretty thin, and I'm assuming that you need a wider blade.
And I don't mean for, just to cut some rumble strips. What do they have to be? Probably 2 inches wide? Something like that?
I'm gonna probably have to go over and look to see
Yeah,
what they
see.
did exactly over on 153. I'm wondering if I can just buy that blade, because we can certainly use the machine to do that. I did call, I actually went down to the town state garage, and I tried to talk to them down there. And they handed me a phone number. I said, that's the sign bureau, you gotta call them.
Mhm.
I called them last week, no luck, just rang and rang and rang. I called again, and today, this morning, and I left a message today, and actually, I was able to leave a message. But according to the guys down there, Patrick was saying that they don't just come out and do that quickly, there's a study involved and everything else, but nonetheless, we need to get that moving.
Yeah.
About putting up the double stop signs that I'm hoping we can do. Also asked about the 25-mile-per-hour signs near the store.
Right. Slow that down.
Yeah, you know, which I do feel like is necessary, that is, you know, too fast for there. We did manage to put up the horse crossing sign on Dane. We tried to put up the dead end sign on Friends Point, but a week ago, I'm not sure who it was, Kami, that called for the post, because he wanted to put up the post himself. So we gave them the post.
He wants to put up a sign that said
No boat launch.
something else.
So we went up there to put the sign up, and the sign, no sign of the signpost. We can't find it. It's not up yet. It's not around. We were there with the ability to drive it in for him and stuff. We had the dead end sign with us, and we couldn't find it. I did try to call you on Friday. There was no answer. But I need to get the contact information for whoever that person was that took the signpost.
Yeah.
Because, you know, just put it back out there where you want it.
I don't have a phone number, but I got his name and what number house he is.
Oh, okay,
So-
that would work fine
Okay.
too. I mean, I'll just go bang on his door. It's fine. Okay, yeah, if I could get that, I mean,
Mhm.
that'd be perfect. And that's all I have.
So you got all the emails from Bergeron,
Are these recent ones?
yeah, on the grants that we've applied for Canaan, Ledge Hill.
I didn't forward him to him.
Okay, so we need to forward those to you. You
Okay.
can start a dialogue with, is it Chris Fournier?
Yep.
Up there.
So I did meet with them the other day. We actually went and looked at all the projects.
Yeah,
And it's almost, he was like, oh, I don't, you know, all the big ones that I really wanted to accomplish, he's like, I don't think that's gonna fall into this category.
right,
The category is to prevent,
flooding,
yeah, or something
overwash.
that's gonna, yeah, well, it's to improve, causing, severe damage in the future, to prevent future
Right,
damage. And I said, well, I tried to justify it, saying, look, you know, this hill, you know, washes out the bottom and we get, you know, sand sediment everywhere and stuff. Because I don't think it's gonna, and they've done the study already
right.
and drew up the plan for the catch basins, but he said he didn't think that would fall into the category.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, we ought to get some of it. Nobody else is applying, so I would think we'd get some.
I showed him everything I could think of. I mean, we went to culverts that, yeah.
Okay. And I don't think an orange cone's the answer.
Oh, I did pick that up. I don't know if you noticed, but I had picked that up.
Did you fix the problem?
I lifted it up 2.5 inches,
Okay.
but I think what's, you know, if we go any higher, it loses the bowl effect and the water's gonna run right.
Yeah, it just needs
through.
not to be a traffic hazard.
So I did talk to the person, I forgot his name now, that had made the complaint,
Right.
and he said, you could clearly see that cars were bottoming out in there previously. I said, no, it's not cars, it's me with a plow. Because we're trying to open that up.
Right.
After it snows, you know, the snow sits on top, and I'm trying to scrape it clean with the plow, and sometimes I get a little angle going, and yeah, it does scratch the pavement, but clearly, it's me with the plow, and I know that I've done it. It's not cars going in there. I do want to still paint a white line to keep people from
Yeah.
driving too far to the right, which, you know, you'd have to work at it, I think, or be on your cell phone or something, but it's far enough off the road. I don't see it being as big of an issue, and it's no worse than it was last year. At this point, the pavement was 1.5 inches thick that they installed, and I picked up 2.5 inches.
Okay.
So nobody should bottom out in there.
Okay. And the clean diesel grant, we should get some truck bids. Let's make that happen.
Did you guys read that by any
Yeah.
chance? Did you see where it said it has to be older than 2009? And then it needs to be dismantled after the fact, or
How old is our truck?
2015, 7 years?
Okay. I didn't realize that it was that young. But
It is, but it's, you know, it shows a lot of signs of rust and problems.
Well, at any rate, we need to get some truck bids going.
I agree,
So
yep.
that we can, if we have to put a warrant article together, we need to replace that thing this year.
Yeah, and the reason why we wanna do it every 7 years is that's the best bang for the buck for your trade-in, and before you start to put $50,000-$60,000 worth of repairs in the next year.
You're gonna meet a lot of resistance. You're going to meet a lot of resistance.
Well, either that, we just, you know, we need $100,000 to redo it, one of the two, you know. That back body's, you know, you patched it, and patched it, and patched it.
It's gotta be justified.
Well, it is the only major plow truck that the town owns, so
When it goes down, it is a problem.
it is a problem if it goes down. Unless,
Panic sets in, I'm just saying
unless we
right
can
now.
get some kind of long-term,
I mean, when it goes down, I'm not lying, like panic sets in with all of us.
I mean,
It's important to keep that going.
everybody else works for the state if they're contract plowers, and I don't know that we wanna pay the state rate for our road plowing. That would be our only alternative, is get out of the plowing business and just contract it.
Well, I mean, I do supply 5 trucks for the town already.
But those are small trucks, not.
No, I have an identical truck to the town.
Do you?
Yeah, I made the big investment.
So look at.
What do we have? We got a 10-wheeler? Do we have a 6-wheeler?
The town?
Yeah.
No.
Town doesn't, I do.
No, the town.
Town has 1 truck.
Just one truck.
One.
It's a 10-wheeler?
Yep. Yep.
We used to have a 6-wheeler.
We did. I was told to get rid of it. We had to sell it.
It was dying.
I mean, I thought it was great to keep as a backup. I liked it. But it was very tired.
Well, even though Bob says there's gonna be some resistance, we need to have something to resist. So bring in some pricing, so we've got some idea what we're looking at. And let's do some comparisons. If
Yeah.
you know, what's it cost to have Mountainside do all of it, which is paid as opposed to buying a truck.
What if something happened to me though? You know, that's the downside. What if I
Well, I'm
got
hoping that-
T-boned and was killed?
I'm hoping
Can somebody
that-
step in with enough equipment to take over instantly? I don't think so.
Just, well, then that's.
You need that truck.
No, you need a better business plan.
Yeah.
If something happens to you, there should be bench enough to make it work. You know, or just all of your assets and all of your hard work go to nothing at the moment of your death. I mean, that just, so that's just me talking to you. It's not the
It's
town
still-
directing you to do anything. It seems.
I just still feel like the town should have 1, but that's just me,
Yeah.
my opinion.
And the other thing about it, if we went in that direction, we really would have to put it out on the street and just, we really have to say, okay, we're getting out of the plowing business. This is what we need, give us a price, put it on the paper, get our RFP out. So,
Right, we tried that before, we got 0 response.
yeah, yeah, I mean, part of the problem and part of the reason why we've had to have a truck is that there is no large market of unused equipment during the winter time around here. It just seems like everybody's got something they're doing,
Yeah.
and they're not interested in working.
Especially plowing, it just doesn't pay enough, to be honest with you. You know, for what damage it causes in the rust.
Right,
Most people try to park their $200,000 trucks during the winter time.
right. Anyway, we need to start that discussion because that truck's not gonna last for much longer. I was kinda hoping it would fall into that
Oh, me too,
clean bid.
me too.
But it didn't list that in the email, but when you researched it.
Remember I asked you if there was a year on it, and you said, yeah, I think there was, and you said 2009, you were right, it was exactly
was.
2009.
So we've got our paving done, and we've got Shirley Way pretty well done.
It just needs a gravel on the edges, Shirley Way loop, and the end of Keenan, just needs a gravel. And then close that out and do
And how is the tree work on it?
that storm kind of set back all the tree guys around here. I'm not if you're familiar with what happened, but I didn't even know it for a while. But we had a little microburst that came through part of
Right.
Tuftonboro and
Way
hit,
up north of
hit Ball Peak
here. Right.
and through Center Cove, hit Lane's End pretty good, 27 trees down. And a little here and there, all the way, I think it went all the way to Portland, is what I heard, something like that. It touched down in a handful of spots, caused quite a bit of damage. So they're a little behind from that, but he did say he's getting closer to being able to come back and cut some more trees for us.
Yeah, because you've still got $15,000 left, isn't there?
Yep, and we have a lot more trees to
And
go.
the apron paving was spent nothing.
Whoa, 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 no, that should be spent.
Okay.
That's what we have left, correct?
12.5 is what we have left. We don't have any.
Kathy, didn't we spend that money for GMS paving?
Apron paving,
Did I put it in the wrong place?
how much,
Yeah, we want to check that.
what did they charge?
It was, I think, 13,000 and
Yeah, I thought I took part out of that and part out of it. Hang on a
summer.
minute.
I want to say
Is
it was
that
summer.
all states?
No, it was
Yeah.
GMS paving.
Are you looking at the, what are you looking
I'm
I
looking
think I
at
just
the
got that.
current year.
at? This
expenditures.
budget?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a detail.
Hang on.
I just picked it up and I'm on it now, so.
Page 7,
oh,
third line,
There you go.
apron paving, 12,500.
That would probably be why I had a call last Friday from them.
All right, I'll check into it. I didn't think we were hanging on to it. Unless you took it with you. I thought we were paying, I thought we paid that. We were gonna do
I did too.
12,000 out of apron and then so much out of,
Summer, I believe.
summer.
Correct, yeah, we talked about
I'll
it, I think
check
you guys
into
want to
it.
vote on it.
Because, yeah, summer you still got $37,000 in
Yeah, so that money shouldn't be there.
there. Right.
Okay.
Your fuel's running good, so
Yeah, so far,
so far.
the price per
And-
gallon is still reasonable for us.
Is the roadside mowing happening?
Yes, this month, I think it's next week they start. I contracted with another company because they gave us a much better price. So we're gonna give them a try this year.
Is that the email that I received that I forwarded to you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
We only do that once a summer?
yes. But it usually takes a month.
Yeah, there's a lot of roads.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay. So, and how are we coming on William Road?
We've made a little bit of progress, but we, haven't got going on it forward, but we did remove a very large boulder that was
Okay.
in the road.
You still got some unspent money there as well.
Yep, yeah, no, we knew going in it was gonna be the fall before we
Yeah.
get there.
Okay.
Late summer, fall.
Did you ever go and look at the damage on Shirley Way? Way down at the bottom of the loop
Oh,
in that truck?
no, I did, you showed me the pictures, but,
What was happening?
It's tire damage, dump truck.
Oh, you went off the road?
No, turned their tires on the pavement, like the day after it was paved, and with these divots now,
Really?
freshly paved road,
well, the only one thing that I can say is
it's base coat.
it's a base coat and we will be applying a top coat probably next year, hopefully. So it's only damage for 1 year.
Well, maybe we'll close the road after we put the top coat on it, so it's safe for no commercial traffic.
Yeah, the downside is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the house was burnt down and they're trying to get back into the house before winter, and you can see how, there was a little bit of a push probably,
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be completed before the next coat.
Anything else, Bob, or?
Nope.
Okay, I guess you're free to go.
Thank you.
And you gotta bring back some truck prices to us and,
Yeah, I do have one, but it's just one.
yeah, it's got a couple.
And he's like, it's not gonna be very consistent. I can only give you a basic ballpark. Who knows what it's gonna be next year,
Yeah.
but it came in at 235.
Yeah, see if the state's bid is gonna have.
And that's just cab and chassis, right?
No, that's everything.
That's good.
Plows, everything.
So,
Yep. And that was the problem that I had when I tried to get the state bid last year, was that I couldn't get a price fully done. They said I would have to go get the plows and dump body, sanders.
you can be like the chief of police, and it'll take a year to get it back on the road. All right, next is.
Does our existing truck have trade-in value?
Yes. He said, not seeing it, I think we're talking around 75,000. Not seeing it. So,
Well,
I think it's, I was honest with him, said, yeah, it has holes in the back body and it's been patched. So he's like, yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Do you think we could do better selling it outright?
Possibly, especially if you found somebody that had their own body already, they could put it on the back.
mhm.
Yep.
Keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah. You just don't know how it works when you're trying to get a new truck and trying to sell the old truck to pay for it. You don't know how that works, but.
Well, but remember that when you do this in town, you don't get to take the credit for the trade-in off the price of the new truck, unless it's a trade-in.
Yeah.
If you were to sell it yourself, that money's gonna come into the general fund.
Yeah, so it doesn't go
So,
back.
yeah, we have to, and
I don't know.
even with a trade, the warrant article has to be worded as the total price. So that number's gonna sit there and stare people in the face no matter what.
But would you have, with a trade-in value of $70,000 or something like that
If it's-
in the warrant article?
If it's guaranteed,
We
if
would
you
have
got
to
a
make sure.
contract, you'd have to have a contract to get that in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so we can ask more about that today, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we get closer when we get, but it's gonna be tough in March, at any rate.
Yep. Well,
It's good to start the conversation.
I agree.
All right,
All right, thank you. So-
Dennis Delembo, Parks and Recreation.
Thank you.
How's afternoon?
Good morning. Let me introduce, I'm already Brandon, he's our chairman of Parks and Rec Commission, and he wants to say a few words. I just have good news and bad news. The good news is Brandon's getting married in October.
Nice.
That's not bad news, that's good news, and I'll let Brandon.
Yeah, so with kind of re-looking at like my time focus, and because I'm involved in a lot of different things, and I really want to start my marriage off strong there. So effective September 1st, I'll be resigning from Parks and Recreation. I still will do my best to serve the town in various ways that I can, but I need to relook at my kind of time commitments that I have each month there. So at some point I hope to be able to serve on the commission again, and I've appreciated the opportunity to serve over the last several years. But
So generally speaking, we have the commissions, if you will, put together a new chairman. I mean, do you have that in
Yeah.
play?
I'm going to be talking with. I have two people on the committee that I think either of them would be good, either Jeff or Joyce Lake. So because we have a pretty full committee at this point, which is good. So we should be able to.
How many people do you have on?
Was she here during the winter?
Joyce was not here this past winter. She had to go to Arizona, but Jeff is, so Jeff's here year round. So he's currently our vice chair. So I think he probably would be the one I would pick, just because he's more consistent, being here year round, and he's pretty organized in that. So.
Brandon took over, I just had started, and Gina, of course, had left. I remember sitting here, it was Carol, Eileen, and Brandon, and myself. We had to get a chairman, and no one really wanted it, and Brandon stepped in and did a great job. And it's been great working with him the last almost 4 years, so I appreciate all that.
Yeah, no, I think the Parks and Rec Committee has really come into its own. a lot better than it was prior to Dennis coming on and prior to you guys really boosting your membership and getting more involved. But I think it helped to have a director who's, you know, type A personality.
Yes. Yeah, Dennis has been
I'm
great to work
good or
with.
bad about it. I'm not that smart a man. So thank you, Brenda.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your
Congratulations.
field.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll be talking with our committee to try and get that situated for
Yeah,
our
because
next
we're gonna
year.
need the appointments
Mhm.
Yeah.
put before us.
And Brandon, even with the old home days, he's coming through with both the dunk tank, the bounce house with insurance,
Nice.
and of course Kevin has organized all the camps with the food, so he's still active and he's not going away.
Yeah, no, we'll continue to help serve in
Exactly.
whatever ways I can. So
Yeah.
Are you gonna still live in Tufton Borough?
I'm gonna still live in Tottenham Road.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing there. So she's moving up this way. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Cause I'm just
His father-in-law, he was the ex-Parks and Rec director in Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's like
So,
incestuous.
that's a bit of me, maybe somebody might
Maybe you
Franklin,
could-
Mass or New Hampshire?
New
New
Hampshire.
Hampshire, yeah.
That Parks and Rec in Franklin?
Yeah, I think they have a pretty decent sized program. They have a number of fields and stuff. So.
All right, thanks, Ben.
All right,
All
great,
right.
thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you've done.
Just a couple things. One is the budget, based on last month, and the other is the revolving fund, up through the end of July, I believe. Yeah. One thing jumps off the page, and again, I think it's a credit to Hannah, is that she's almost brought in $3 grand in swim lessons. This is our last week of swim lessons. She's gone 3 2-week sessions, and like I say now, it's well over 50 kids, and it's kind of a different type of swim lesson thing, being just by herself, and we got great feedback from parents and stuff, and she's done a great job. And at this time, to be honest with you, I would love to see her come back, but I think I'd love to try and get her a bonus of maybe $100, just as a token of appreciation. She's gone above and beyond. She's bailed us out in this whole swim thing, so I don't know if I'd have to get approval from that, take her out of my budget or whatever.
Yeah, I think what would have to happen is you'd have to come in and ask. And then, I mean, your budget's fine, you paid out at 36%.
Right.
You have $1,300 left in your water safety instructor's line,
Yeah.
and we're a little short on support staff line, so that's gonna be. And then, what's up in there? The all-encompassing recreational areas line, which has $4,300 off that, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think giving somebody $100 bonus isn't out of the question.
So what would be the procedure on that? How would I-
You bring forward, if you want it to come out of your budget, you have to get us to sign off on it. So
Okay. So just go through Kathy.
Yeah, we'll come through here.
Yeah. She's here till the first of September, then she goes back to school.
Yeah, let's wait until the end of the month to do
Okay.
anything.
All right, good.
And you're $900 upside down in your concert series. So when you get new management at Parks and Rec, let's put something in that.
Mm.
You know, there's no reason why the concert shouldn't, I don't think there's any reason why they shouldn't make money, but they should at least break even.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the obvious, being rained out of 2 of them,
Right.
you look at $1,100 we saved, one $500, one $600 band, but one of those bands have moved to the town picnic, so now we're having 2 groups
Yeah.
at the town picnic, and the town picnic's actually gonna go from 12 to 4:30. like I said, with 2 bands. While the bands are basically resetting up, that's when we'll get into the kids' contests and stuff like that, so. If it's raining, it must be Thursday. I mean, this past Thursday, we had the band, you could see it coming in, and you could see the rain like on the Moldenville side, and then you could see the left coming in, and they normally take a break at 7:30, but I said just play through the break, and they ended up going right till 10 past 8, and just, we had to shut down, you know, it was just too dangerous, so. And, yeah, you look this week at the weather, and there's pop-up showers everywhere, you know,
Yeah,
all
all
week.
week.
So, and this is probably our most popular group of the Capital Energy Band, so
Minus
just
32.
hold your breath on that one, I guess.
Good.
Just, go ahead.
I mean, you're only $18,000 away from having this being a self-supporting
Yeah.
Parks and Rec department.
Nice.
I mean, if you take out Dennis and you take out Wolfboro, and then you subtract the net revenue, you only got $18,000 shortfall right now. So
Mhm.
I think a new committee, Brandon did a great job. Keep the momentum going. I mean, I could see the $3,220 net income figure change into, it's 13,000.
Yeah.
220. I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't. Not that we want a money-making operation.
No.
It's like Jack's department.
It'd be nice to have it pay for itself.
Self-funded.
Yeah, I think we're close with the sponsors I brought in.
Yeah.
And then with the rainouts, I know we definitely have Dave's on the page.
Yeah, get somebody to do a head count, so you
Yeah.
can tell your sponsors when you're asking, you know,
Yeah,
500 people show up or
right,
whatever.
yeah. The one thing on the Parks and Rec fund there, we did, and I promised I'd have it for this meeting, but we did get $600 for the positive profit.
Okay.
And we wrote a check to Live and Let Live for 600, and the buddy's at 600, so we basically split 1,800 after expenses. You know, the expenses were obviously the porta potty, the DJ,
Right.
and the banners. And outside of that, the money coming in was admissions, the vendor fee, and the raffle.
Right.
So, I mean, for the first year, we made 600.
Yeah.
Like I said, probably close to 300 people showed up, so I think that's something to build on. This coming year, we're gonna be honoring the local group, the Humane Society in Ossipee. And I think they'll be a little more active as far as our community's going, so. Anything else on the budget?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Just a couple of the bummers. At the beach yesterday, my refrigerator stopped working. So we lost, we did lose some hamburgers and hot dogs, and I gotta get on there now and throw that stuff out. It's just that, well, whether it was the heat or not, but I mean, it was probably got hot in the shed itself.
Yeah.
So that was bad. The Saturday, I get a call from the kid working out down there, and he's doing a good job. And he's only working maybe an hour and a half a day, but every time I go down and check him, it's raked perfect. The grills are clean. There's no duck droppings. The pavilion's nice and blown.
Mhm.
His father sits there while he works, but he did call me Saturday morning and said that someone stole our wheelbarrow. So I had an extra one at home. I brought it over, and I says, "This one you gotta just put in the shed. Don't, you know, not gonna lock it up, but just put it in the shed when you're done. Because once he rakes the beach, he puts it in a wheelbarrow." So that was kind of a bad one. The Melbourne Wharf, we had chained up the benches down there. They brought them because they were diving off it. And it could be dangerous. Kids are going to be kids, you know that. But they could break the thing and fall, and who knows what would happen. So I dragged them and put one on a tree and chained the other one on this other sign. Talked to the chief a couple days ago, and back out there.
Pull them, remove them,
I'm gonna.
get them out of there.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull them out. Whether they took the thing and kind of lifted the chain up over the side, I don't know, I'm gonna go down today, or they cut it, either way, but, yeah, it's, I'm gonna pull them out, I'm gonna call Zach and see if he can just take them
Yeah,
and
put them in the trailer.
yeah,
Or
I'll put them down.
container.
And that sign too down there, we'll bring up that sign.
Yeah, who was saying, the chief was telling me something about the hours are different, or dusk, or 10 o'clock or something.
Right, the ordinance says 10.
Yeah.
And
On
it
both
only,
si-
and it only speaks to parking. It
Right.
just says no parking. There is no ordinance for using,
On that side.
yes. No, the sign says that there is. The sign is telling them that they can't do something that they can do.
So we need to change that.
I think that the sign just has to be no parking between the hours. That's the
Yeah.
only ordinance that we have down there.
Is it?
Yeah,
There's no?
yeah, go through the, I went through the ordinances.
This
I
is
went-
at Melbourne,
I
right?
went through the ordinances and that's all we could find is a restriction on parking.
Okay. All right, so look at the sign down at Melbourne Wharf, and if it's not correct, let's change it out. Get a new sign made.
So, what do you think it should say?
It should follow the ordinance.
Yeah.
It should say no parking between whatever the hours are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Period. You can put something like, no lifeguard on duty, use at your own risk.
yeah,
Be respectful of your neighbors, yada yada, that type of thing.
yeah.
But you can't do anything, I don't know,
Outside the ordinance.
yeah, regulatory outside of the ordinance.
Yeah, okay, I'll look at that. Is that consistent with the one at 19 Mile too?
I haven't seen the one
Yeah,
at 19 Mile.
because we had another,
Yeah, I think they're all the same.
Problem is, we had somebody fishing
yeah,
after dark.
the horn pump,
Yeah, doing horn pounding after dark.
Yeah.
And the neighbors call the police and they shoot them away.
yeah,
But if we don't have an ordinance that says that they can't do that, then we can't do that.
yeah. Okay, I'll check that. The other thing was the Cow Island, you guys already know about that, the chief went out, but I mean, I have an extra game can at my house, I don't know if we wanna do that, but it just seems like this guy's been a problem for years.
I've heard that, I wanna make note that I was talking to Bubba Boley, over the weekend, and he goes out there and cleans that up voluntarily.
Yeah, it does.
I just wanna make a note that it's very nice of him to do that.
Well, he had, his son, he took pride in building the fire pit there, and he had gone out there 2 days after it was destroyed, and the
Yeah.
glass was spread.
Yeah.
And that's when I told the chief, and the chief went out, but no one was home at that house, so,
Yeah, I'm not averse to putting a game camera out there.
okay.
I mean, nobody seems to want to step up. Nobody out there's got any courage to stand forward and
Well, he just
take
thinks it's his private
Somebody's
beach, I
in
guess,
there.
you know? But anyway, that,
yeah, I mean, they're claiming ownership of public property, and we
but I
just-
mean, to sprinkle broken glass, I mean, that's
yeah,
another issue, you know?
yeah, that's,
All right, I've been out there once with Bubba, and, maybe you could, we can put it in a way where it's, it's camouflaged, but it's catching.
And now anybody watching is knowing that you're gonna do that.
Yeah,
They'll look out.
maybe we need
Yeah, it's
to,
coming.
maybe we need to build a ranger station out there and put that staff.
Yeah, no, I know. All right, what else you wanna talk about? Old home days, yeah, we talked about the insurance with the bounce house, Brendan supported us copies on that. Should be a good old home days program. Like I say, that picnic is gonna be a really good time, and I got you labeled in for cooking and stuff like that. We did come up with 8 people we are gonna honor in the town of Tufton, bro.
8?
8 people. You think there's not? 8? And I'm sure I'm missing people, and I don't want to be the only one that said I picked them, but we got a good list. I'm not going to expose it because it's a surprise.
So this is at Old Home?
Well, if the awards come in, I'm going to do some at the concert, but if they don't, we'll do it at the picnic. But certainly you guys would be welcome to be part of the presentation.
So the picnic is part of the Old Home program?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And it should be one flyer just for the picnic in addition to the overall. We do have the community garden that's coming up August 20th. It's gonna be a cookout for all the people that take part in the growing out there. And I guess they used to do it years ago, and it was kind of like an old-fashioned thing where they would all come and share stuff. So we're gonna bring that back. And
Hand everybody each other's zucchini
I
and
think
tomatoes?
so, yeah, I'm hoping to get some myself, yeah, that'd be great. Again, the concerts, 2 out of the 5 have been canceled. What else we got? Looking towards the fall, some of the programs we are gonna start, it's a new program. We talked to the girl down at the old general store, Erin. They used to teach ball and dancing at UNH, so spoke with the library, maybe using their back room. So her and her husband are gonna run that program, and we haven't worked out the details yet. I'm gonna bring it to the library and show her this week, and see if that's, you know, I mean, the townhouse might be a little tough about dancing, so I don't know if you guys are interested in that. I'm sure your wife would be, I'm not the best dancer in the world, really. I dance like Elaine on Seinfeld. We are gonna get back to the Thursday gym program in the school when school starts. We'll start off with the dodgeball. Yard sale is coming up October 1, and the cornhole league begins September 7th. So outside of that, that's all I have.
Anything else? All right.
What's our next
Dennis.
meeting?
I don't know, it's, I don't know if we'll meet August, I don't think so, probably September. Yeah, I know we gotta, like I said, get a new chairman and.
First Tuesday, second Tuesday,
Yeah.
third Tuesday.
Let me just follow up and.
We should probably do it earlier than later.
Yeah,
Well, you gotta, you know, debrief on the summer,
Yeah.
like the opening concerts, all the rest of
yeah,
it.
yeah. So a question on the budget when that season's coming up. Like if I was to try and, they say you gotta replace that sand up top every 7 years, and it's kind of in rough shape, so, I mean, that would be a big budget item, wouldn't it?
Send on what, on the beach?
Yeah,
Bring a budget for it.
yeah.
Yeah, you need to talk to, conservation on the limits of that permit, so you know, because if you try to go out and get a bid on it,
Yeah.
or a price on that,
So conservation would know about that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I need Jack.
Yeah, and Jack, that would be another person to contact, Jack Parsons.
That would be out of my budget,
What's that?
if we try to replenish the sand.
Well, we
Just,
do, if it's large enough, we do a warrant article,
Okay.
you know, there's no reason to, we're not gonna make another line item in your budget for
Yeah.
sand that only happens every 7 years.
Right.
That's not gonna happen. So we just create, or
well, it goes in under
if
maintenance.
the road agent is
Yeah.
gonna do it, then
Okay.
we plug it into his budget,
Okay.
so.
That's good. All right.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All right, signature file. Does Kathy want us for some reason?
You wanted her
For
to
what?
come in, you said the next 9 o'clock meeting that we have, you would like her to be here.
Did I?
Yeah,
Why did I say that?
in case you had budget questions or,
Huh.
but she does need to talk to you because she's submitting the bids for propane,
Right.
so she's,
Okay. First item for signature is a, well,
the only, oh, that, yeah.
and then we have 2. Is a letter to Lake Surgeon Conservation Trust supporting their plea to the New Hampshire state, or to state government to restrict rafting and anchoring at Ragged Island. We voted on this 2-1 sometime back in
April 25th.
April 26th. So it did prevail, so I'm gonna move that we sign it. And the next item for signature is permanent application for property tax credit exemptions. We are allowed to exempt for different age groups from 65 on.
That's a denial.
A reduction in their property appraisal. The ask was for $40,000 reduction. Upon looking at their income, they don't qualify. So I'm going to move that we deny this application.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Eighth.
8, right. What year it is, I don't know what day it is. All the rest of that is theirs. We had, we had bids, we asked for bids on our propane supply for the year, and got 3, I think, 3 or 4. Yeah.
I think they're in your action.
I've got my here. The first one I'm gonna read off is from Rhymes Propane of Concord. They're offering a price of $2.149 per gallon for 7,700 gallons for the 22-23 heating season. I'm assuming that the 7,700 is based on our current usage.
Mm-hmm.
The next was White Mountain Oil and Propane, which would give us a locked-in rate of $1.86 from September 1st through August 31st of 2023, or a locked-in margin of 39 cents over wholesale cost for that same time period. For reference, the delivery price of the town under option B would be $2.26 per gallon this week, but could go up or down with wholesale costs during the year. And we got a bid from Eastern Propane. Okay, with a fixed price of $2.27 per gallon for propane from September 1 through May 31st, 2023, or a cost plus pricing staying with your current fixed markup over Eastern's laid-in cost, subject to monthly changes. And we also got a letter from Stafford Oil and Propane from Laconia. They're not currently servicing customers, so they didn't bid.
I'd like to note that White Mountain Oil and Propane, their bid, while being the lowest at $1.86 per gallon, are also giving us a few extra months. Rhymes and Eastern terminated the price at May 31st, 2023, and White Mountain Oil and Propane is terminating August 31st, 2023. I know we don't burn much propane in the summer, but I don't know, maybe it would give us the opportunity to top off tanks.
It is worth it because we went over the gallon last year and ended up paying a higher price for our last couple of fills with Eastern, so.
So we've been offered fixed rate and the locked-in margin rates. Do you want to talk about that, or are we just gonna take the fixed rate?
I think we need to take the fixed rate. Years that prices are going to be fluctuating, you know, it might be worth looking at the margin, but my crystal ball says prices down.
Alright, so if we're going with a locked-in rate, it appears as though White Mountain Oil and Propane are giving us the lowest rate of the longest term, so I'm gonna make a motion that we contract with White Mountain Oil and Propane.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
They're also giving employees, a discount too if they sign up with them,
Good.
Good to know.
as was Eastern and Rhymes.
Okay. What else were we gonna talk about?
Well, you wanted me to have the budget for you, the encumbrances and the
Right, and
American Recovery Fund.
I saw that you gave that to us.
But I have a concern under the American Recovery Funds. We're okay with the highway paving coming out of it because a culvert collapsed. There's been changes to the grant again, and there's actually another class, August 11th, this Thursday from 10 to 12. It's a Zoom class. If either one of you's want to attend, I'll attend it, but if you guys,
This is tomorrow.
which is Thursday.
Thursday.
Oh, I thought it was Tuesday. There's something on Tuesday that I saw.
This is August 11th, so I think that's
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday, what time?
10 to 12. If you're interested, I'll forward the email to you so you can sign up and register. Doesn't cost us anything, but it's gonna tell us what our rights are. Because they said it's gonna be quite a bit of changes on the NEUs, which is us. So,
Send me the email, please.
okay. I would love someone else besides me watching it.
So this is
because
money we already have.
we just got the second check
Okay,
this
but
week.
this is money that we had, the $120,000.
Yeah.
With a rule set that we knew, and now the rules are changing. I don't think that they can actually do that on the money we've spent.
Well,
They can do
no.
it on the money they're giving us.
Okay, so we're all right on the driveway. You never actually voted for the neighborhood paving to be part of it, okay? I wanna know what you wanna do with that extra money, because he went over the warrant article. It was $100,000 warrant article. He spent $126,764.78. I had put it into this account, because we thought we were gonna be able to do that. I'm not positive we can.
Okay.
I'm waiting to
Well,
see
let's-
what happens.
Are we meeting on the 16th or 15th? What,
Yes, you are meeting.
15th?
Yeah.
No,
No.
15th we have
What's
off.
the next one?
22.
22 and 29.
Okay, so
You
Well,
got
the 22 and 29 gonna be at 4:30?
29 is no.
No, so
We
have
have,
fi-
we
have
met,
5 Mondays this month.
we
Right, so
met
you
the
only
1st,
need
the
three.
8th, and the 22nd.
So the 22nd.
okay, so the 22nd, let's all get together again. And you will have, you at least, but maybe you and Bob will have at least gone to that Zoom meeting and
Yeah,
gotten some idea. And then we'll just,
the books.
I thought we voted on it though.
I remember.
You didn't vote on the neighborhood one, you voted on the driveway, and when I said to you about voting on the neighbor one, you said, let's wait till we get all the numbers. Do you remember that?
I remember that too.
I remember that, but I thought that we did have all the numbers and that we did ultimately vote. But that, I mean, it's not,
It doesn't matter, I can switch it out, it's, you just vote to not use that funds, but we've gotta figure
Right.
out what we're gonna do with that 26,000.
right.
If we can't put it in the grant money. Okay, cause you can't go over on the warrant article. It'll have to come out of his budget, and his budget will probably go
Yeah, but that's just accounting.
over. Okay, well, it's
That's
important
all.
to me, that's my job, I need to
I
know.
That's why I mentioned it.
Well, I'd like to not go over budget if there's not money to go over budget.
Right, well, that's, in an ideal world, that's how it would work, but our feeling is that, let's say this money is not, doesn't qualify for that usage. There are other usage that it does qualify for, so then it's just a matter of moving things around so that we're not over budget.
Figuring it out.
Our overall budget won't go over, it'll be Jim's budget that will
Right.
probably go
Yeah,
over, which
and
is
he's-
gonna,
And actually, he had 2 good years where they didn't go over, but prior to that, he was over all the time. Wasn't there one other thing that we were gonna
I
change?
thought there was, well, there's the finance report, did anyone have
I
anything?
read that.
Are you good with it? That's a
Yeah.
draft, he wants to know if there's any questions.
Does he
on
want
it.
a signature on it? I'm a little but I'm always confused about the undesignated fund balance. I didn't think we're down to 839,000.
We are,
832,000 or whatever, but that's
We are.
fine,
I questioned it too,
yeah.
and we are,
And did
He
the
told
four
me-
hundred and 36,000 go into, up above there where we took $400,000 out? That went into the police facility, did it not?
what 400, what,
On the page that you got up right there with the undesignated fund balance? I can look it up, sorry.
okay. We have the 800 and something, he told me, cause I asked him about it, to look at. Yeah, we only have 800 and something. The monies that we get for these grants, those 2 grants are not reported in this.
Right, that's not what I was saying though. There's on that sheet where it gives you the $800,000 number,
Okay.
there's $476,370 that came out.
Was that to lower the
Changes.
taxes?
No, lowering the tax, we only took $50,000 out of that. Unassigned fund balance appropriated, so we appropriated $476,000. I think that just went into the police facility. So let's get accounting together of what's in that police facility fund. So in October, we can take a look again.
Okay.
All right. And we'll also get hopefully a better feel for how 2021, well, that's the end of 2021.
This is 2021.
Yeah. Okay.
We had $1,034,000 at the end of 2020,
Right.
and now we have 800. Whatever is it, 39?
That's 20% of our budget. That's,
800,000?
yeah, we have $4.5 million budget, right?
Yeah,
More or
I
less.
think, it depends on who you ask. I mean, DRA will say it's 10% of your whole budget, which includes schools and everything else.
Right.
So, at that rate, we need $120,000 or $1.2 million, I think, to make it happen. 'Cause
I think it's
12
of our budget, I don't think it includes the school.
Yeah. Anyway. No, I just want to make sure we have enough cash in here to affect the taxes if we want to. That's not hopefully, we get the tax rate set in October, but our assessors on vacation.
It's gonna change, he says it's gone up, I thought, what did he say to us, 25%? Yeah.
Well,
assessment.
DRA had us at 76% of value, so. we have to go
73,
20.
Yeah,
Right.
but he's done the reval, and I think he said they've gone up like 29, 25 or 29% of the
Right.
assessed values.
So we need to be able to set the rate, so that means if the values have gone up 25%, then the rate's gonna come down
Right.
25%. But we
Well,
need to be
not
able to set that.
necessarily.
Maybe not that much.
No. Close.
And whole numbers.
Anything else I'm gonna
Okay, I think that's it, but
talk? I think so, you just
are you
want-
vacationing this month?
Me?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. A day here and
Are
there,
you-
not a week.
Going over that?
No,
Okay.
that's not public.
Okay, so we're having it on public.
No, that's just. I
Oh,
gave
just
it
for
to
them, okay.
That was it. No, you asked me to be ready with the budget and all that, and I did,
Yeah.
and I didn't know if you had questions or something.
No, I'm
Did you
fine.
wanna go over the USPS thing?
That was
No.
just to, so if you have any problem with US, I got a call from the United States Postal Service.
Right.
I was like, wow, I didn't believe it at first, but I thought it was a scam. But anyway, if we have any issues, locally or federal, they gave us that number and that email to contact them. I don't know why they're contacting us all of a sudden. It's there if we have any problems with this post office and how it's handled and all that kind of thing, or federal.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, and other action items, I think we're still in action items. Talk about parking at 19 Mile Beach. Says our administrative secretary. I don't know what we have to talk about.
Well, you had,
Well, if we're gonna, we can talk about it, but I think this is a discussion that should be had with 3 selectmen,
Yeah.
not 2. Clearly, there's a problem with town parking.
Just with the park, I mean, I went by there yesterday, and, what was yesterday? Sunday.
so what you,
And,
yeah.
I mean, on both sides of the road were completely.
Yeah, the parking lot fills up first, and then overflow goes to the outside of the fence, and then people
Well,
start
there-
lining the road.
There were probably only 6 or 7 cars in the town parking lot. That wasn't full yesterday. I don't know what. I guess maybe it's more convenient to park on the side of the road, I don't know. So, but I'm sure the parking lot at the beach was full. I couldn't see in there because I was in traffic, I suppose. There was no place to pull off because the sides are full.
Well, for the sake of discussion, I don't have any problem with restricting the town parking to town residents. It's not gonna change the problem.
No, I don't think it is. It's just gonna be non-residents will be parking up on the road.
To be parking out in the street, and then the state may have an issue with all the cars parked along the side of the road, but that's the state, that's their problem. You know,
Yeah, I'm not ready to restrict parking with just 2 of us. I'm ready to do any number of things with just 2 of us, but I think I'd like a bigger discussion about that.
yes,
And summer's working its way right along, and if we're only meeting one more time before.
Well,
school
and Guy's not
starts.
here until September 12th, so summer will
Yeah,
be
he's
over by
taking,
then.
he's taking August off, which is, I find totally irresponsible, but when school starts, then everybody comes back to work and we'll get something done.
the problem is short-lived for the summer. I think it's nothing that we can't address
Right.
this fall,
Right.
but I do think that it needs to be addressed.
Okay, so let's talk about 19 Mile Beach, we've done that. Juneteenth, if we are observing all other federal holidays, it doesn't look very good that we choose not to observe this one. That's probably correct. There are probably adjustments we need to make to our holiday schedule. That all happens at the end of the year, when we set the schedule for next year. So nothing's gonna happen between now and then. I really don't want a big political debate about Juneteenth. It is a federal holiday. All right, we've got some action items, got that part done. If you want to look at the financial report, that's what Catherine and I were talking about. It's this one here.
I would like to look at it, not at this moment, but
Yeah.
I would like to look
Just so
at
you
it.
know where it's at. And in correspondence, that's the USPS letter that Kathy mentioned. Chief Shigori attended a 4-hour seminar on response to active killing event. What a nice thing. The governor and council and the governor and executive council have approved our award for the Gopher, G-O-F-E-R-R, locality equipment matching program grant for our fire and police. I believe that's $30,000 towards radios and signage. Department of Environmental Services has got a complaint about infringement onto the lakeside property. We got a letter from Chris Fournier on the applications for HMGP grants. Ledge Hill Road culvert does not support this, is not supported by this grant. Cana Road culvert, the replacement of a 14-foot rigid frame bridge is going forward. Union Wharf culvert, once again, replacement of a culvert with a 14-foot rigid frame bridge, that's going forward. The Curtis Road culvert has been, I guess it's ready for our approval.
No, Curtis Road and Sodom Road are still on,
Okay.
going through.
We're still waiting for something. And Tyler Phillips is moving forward with a grant right petition to the state. And there's a series of emails from Tyler and various operators at the state. We do have a verbal agreement with the property owner to our north to move the line, property line, so we can get going forward on the wharf. And got a bill for headwaters from, that's Tyler Phillips company. He hasn't spent any money on Lake Road, because he hasn't done anything on Lake Road. But that's another project that we hopefully can look forward to.
What's going on there?
Well, they want to rebuild the bulkhead on Lake Road,
That's the side
right next to the church park.
where people park.
Right. So improve the drainage, get a fixed bulkhead, similar to what we're talking about at 19 Mile today. And it's a much smaller job, but it still needs to be done. And stabilize that. And then I can do the river and the boat ramp. And also improve the park. And Selectmen's update. Morning, Bob.
We had a planning board meeting the other night. It was just a workshop. Some of the fees were adjusted downwards. So
Okay.
they
Nothing on that.
went down.
They went down.
They went down to be consistent with the size of the town, the operations that, the applications that come before the planning board, and to be consistent with other towns in the area and the size of our town. So the majority of the board felt that some of the prices needed to come
And are they
down.
gonna present those to us at some point?
I encourage you to read the minutes.
I'm not gonna read their minutes. I want them to present the fees to the Board of Selectmen, because we need to approve fees. They don't operate outside of us. I mean, they do to a large extent, but the financial end of things is not their purview. They don't have a separate fund. Like Dennis. Dennis has a separate fund. The library has separate funds. Planning board doesn't have separate funds.
Would you
So
like
just
me
give
or Cammy to contact Gary and
Yeah, just tell them to put the
submit a
funds
letter of
forward.
recommendation?
Yeah, I'm not sure, I'm sure there's no problem with it. I just, if you start breaking the system, then the system doesn't work anymore. So, just a step they need to take. Any sign of the, you didn't have any appointments at the planning board?
No, it was a workshop
Okay. And when are you meeting again?
in 2 weeks, I think,
Next Thursday.
next Thursday. Not this Thursday, next Thursday.
First and third Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got another email to him about that sign, so
And is
next
he
time I'm gonna
on-
tell him when they,
Is he on the agenda?
Because it should be on the agenda for
Yeah,
the third Thursday.
Yeah, his information was presented as a packet this past Thursday, but because there was no hearing or anything on it, just the information was presented. I did not see any information in that packet about the sign.
He has a sign permit, separate. It's not on the planning board thing, it's on, he has a sign permit for a different sign, that sign.
Not the one that's up there.
No. That's going away, and he has a smaller one that's gonna be on his own property. I think he's away right now playing, he plays in a band.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, seriously, he plays with big people.
Well,
Whatever,
God
I
bless
know,
him. We're just little people, but we.
But I told him-
Rules follow.
You're gonna stop mowing soon, and I'll have the highway department move it, you won't like it when they're done, so.
Yeah.
Tobacco can do that pretty quick, so.
All right, and, oh. Yeah, I guess we'll keep that up. So lose it. So we have a little more information, okay. All of my work was done right here at the town office, and you've witnessed the results of it. I did have a phone call from, the owner of Melbourne Marine, who wanted us to revisit the vote on, our recommendation to support Lakes Region Conservation regards Ragged Island. Guy's not here. I don't see any value in, I mean, if we were to revisit, it would be a 1-1 vote, at which point nothing would happen, and we've already done it. And as I might have mentioned at some point in time, although Melbourne Marine and the general boating industry has an economic impact on the town, a more direct impact on the quality of life and Tufton Borough as a whole is done through conservation easements that we handle with Lakes Region Conservation. And they're a more active partner, whether it's at Mirror Lake or the Great Meadows. And I have to check with Jim, but I don't believe we receive any boat revenue, any registration revenue. We used to, but we don't anymore. That's really not the point. It isn't how much taxes we collect. It's not even how many employees somebody has. It's more about having partnerships and making it work in the ways now. So
I would, if it came down, I would support reconsideration of the letter, because that was the dissenting vote. I still believe that the lake is there. It's a state body of water, and there should be free and equal access to the lake. But again, today is not the day. We don't have three of us here.
And I don't think access to the lake ever entered. I mean, I've battled fiercely for local access to all the great ponds. And I'll continue to do that. So I don't think it's access, it was the use issue. But we're not gonna reconsider it today anyway. So
No,
enough of that.
no, and it's non-binding anyways. It's just
Right,
it's
we're not
just
gonna
a moral show of
submit
support.
testimony.
That's right.
Did you have something else for us, Catherine?
I just wanted to let you know that I looked into that number you were asking me about. $337,390 of that was the encumbered monies on the unassigned balance. Your encumbered monies come out of
It
there.
was all the encumbered money that happened.
That's what, I just took a look at it again, I'm like, I should know this.
Right.
It was the encumbered funds.
And some of those.
5,000 was contingency fund.
Right, but some of those encumbered funds, like Lake Road, I think it's $21,000.
Yeah.
We're not gonna spend that. So at some point in time, it's gonna spin back into the.
Right,
Into the,
right, and that's 25,000, and then the 22,000 from the fire cabinets, that's 21,135 you're not
Right.
gonna be spending, so,
right,
yeah.
and we can't spend it on something else.
No,
We can't
because
say, oh,
you-
we're not gonna buy fire cabinets, let's buy a condo in the Bahamas, so we can't do that. So those monies will probably go back in.
Correct.
So
But right now
we're
it's
back up to 920,000 or something like that.
maybe, yeah. Because you have, that 25,000, that 21,000, everything else has been almost spent out of the
And
encumbered
what was our
funds.
net at the end of the year? It had to have been more than $138,000. And I thought I saw that number. And we can, I'm sorry, that's not something we need to talk
No,
about.
okay.
I can
We're good.
come see you.
All right. I just wanted you to know that was the encumbered funds.
Sorry. Okay, you wanna go non-public?
If we're gonna talk about it.
I think we have to, if we're gonna talk about it. So I'm gonna make a motion that we go into non-public 91A for personnel. All BS.
Murray, yes. God.
So we need to turn the camera off.